Is it working here? Is it functioning? Something is not right. Okay, I think it is live. Okay, so assuming this is live, behind every great man there's a great woman. Are you familiar with this saying? And this will be the discussion topic for today. By any chance, if anyone is actually watching, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good greetings. Yeah, so in the last video, in the last recording, in the last live stream, I have reflected on certain things, including the aspects, the factors behind the scene that enables me to do what I want to do and I have been doing, right? And one of it is the people around me, and one of them is the woman in my life, my life partner, my wife, right? And when I ponder about that, that aspect, this saying come to mind: behind every great man there's a great woman. And no, first and foremost, no, I will not be discussing on the position of woman in this saying, right? Because I have heard someone actually complain, why is it the woman behind the man? Why are you saying behind every great man? Why is it behind, not beside, right? So they say the woman should be beside the man. And I think talking about that is actually besides the point, because the saying is is about highlighting the ignored person, the person that people do not appreciate, which is the woman in the equation. That's why it's behind, because if it's besides, then for sure you can see both of them, right? So people only see the man, the great man, and then they do not realize that behind him, someone with him, supporting him, together with him in the equation, ignored but essential, is the woman, right? So behind every great man there's a great woman. Now, thinking about this, I'm not saying, of course, when I relate to myself, I'm not a great man. I'm just an average man trying to do the best that I could, the best that I can, right? So, but I still think that she is a great woman. Beside that great woman, I cannot even do the average thing that I am doing. Okay, so I'm not fluent enough today, and that makes me think, even though I do agree that behind every great man there's a great woman, as I also think that we should add that sometimes even behind an average man there's a great woman, right? So for example, in my case, right? So this is just a short sharing, I think, because I have to rush after this to pick up my daughter from school, and even though there's only a short time, as I mentioned in the first video, the first recording, I would like to take every opportunity that I can to try to make this as regular as I can. One of it to practice, because this is live, I cannot edit anything, so that's why, you know, when I'm not even fluently speaking, it will be published anyway. And yeah, so that's why I'm pushing it, even though the time limit I have right now is very limited. But anyway, going back to the topic, right? So I do think that we should not take that for granted, right? That great woman behind us, behind the scene. I think most of you, obviously, most depend on if anyone is watching that do not know me before, you will not know what I do in my life, right? But some who does know what I do in my life, they sometimes commented that how do you able to do at this extent, especially time wise, the amount of time spent, scheduling, etc., right? And I can only think that it is made possible because there's a great woman behind me making it possible. as a great enabler to all of this, right? So yeah, that's the additional part that I think is also significant. Not only behind every great man there's a great woman, sometimes even behind an average or maybe an slightly above average man there's also a great woman, right? So my point here is just several. One is, for me and for anyone like me, not to take them for granted, not to take your wife, your partner for granted, right? Sometimes they play an important and integral role despite everyone else do not realize it, do not see it, because they only see you on the platform, they only see you performing whatever you perform. But you be able to perform those things actually rely on someone else, that great woman, taking care of a lot of things at home, for example, right? So that's one thing. Reminding myself not to take that for granted. Inshallah, hopefully Allah will always remind me of the fact that not to take that for granted. Secondly, to be grateful for them. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I do really feel blessed that Allah have given me in my life such a great woman as a partner, to enable both of us to do great things, hopefully inshallah greater things in the future, right? And also, this is also to say, I'm not sure if I can say on behalf of all men, be it great men or above average men or even average men, that we do really appreciate all of you great women who have done a lot despite not being in the spotlight, despite no one actually might even realize what great contribution you have done. Be sure that some of us really do appreciate you. Maybe our lacking is we do not verbalize it a lot, right? It does play in our mind. I'm talking about me and those who are similar to me, right? We are not good with the verbal communication, perhaps. We appreciate you a lot, we think about it a lot, but sometimes we forget that you need to hear it also, right? So hopefully I do have to remind myself also to verbalize it to my partner, to my wife. I do appreciate what they have done, that they are doing and they continue to do, and hopefully this is also on behalf of all men like me. We do appreciate you for everything that you have contributed, right? So I think that is the short sharing of perspective that I have in this limited of time. And yeah, this is like a segue to the question of finding your life partner, perhaps, right? I think because talking about this, one question does arise: how to get a great woman to be your life partner, to be your wife throughout the journey, so that we can do great things together, right? So perhaps that will be the topic for next recording, next live stream. And yeah, I think that is for today. I think I keep watching on I keep looking at the watch so that I will not forget that I have a daughter to pick up at school after this. Anyway, so that's about it, I think, because we push aside how to get a great woman to be your life partner, to be on the next topic. And there are certain things that also is in my mind about selecting the right religion, finding the true religion, etc. Also being the major part of why I want to do this in the first place, because that is one of the things that I want to share also my perspective, and hopefully be able to receive respond comments, etc. from others. But hopefully that will come. Hopefully Allah, the creator, will allow me time to do this more, and hopefully it will be of benefit for those who can benefit from it. But anyway, so I will close it as this: behind every great man there's a great woman, but sometimes behind even an average man there's also a great woman. And hopefully they will know that they are appreciated And I think a greater thing to remind for them, especially if any of them is watching, appreciation from your partner is one thing, and it is important, as a relationship goes, right? But do realize that the appreciation from the Almighty will always be there, and hopefully you will be rewarded handsomely, absolutely gorgeously in the hereafter. I'm out of vocabulary now. So yeah, this has been a Muslim perspective on behind every great man there's a great woman saying. And with that, thank you for watching. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a great week, days, and year to come. Alright, so is this streaming finished? Alright, I think it is finished, so we can stop right now.